Welcome back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I want to thank you for your continued support. Please help us promote this video by giving it many likes. One of the menace that Kenyans are dealing with is the wastage and corruption both in the county and national government. Just recently, the Auditor General revealed that at the county level, officials have got more than 10 accounts that are suspected to be conduits of corruption, because the Auditor General was wondering how just one county has got very many accounts, bank accounts. And it has been revealed that one of the ways that both the county and the national level is siphoning taxpayers' money and stealing it is by contractors. First of all, the procurement laws are not being followed, and the contractors that have been given taxpayers' money to complete projects are giving kickbacks, and because of the laxity, because of lack of commitment to fight corruption and wastage from the top, they do shoddy deals. Some of the projects that were launched have stalled. Just recently, Nithi Bridge claimed 12 lives. And even as we speak today, William Samoei Ruto is in China, and he is getting more loans, and he says this is going to be used to expand the standard gauge railway and to build a dual carriage road somewhere in Rift Valley or those sides. Now, as this is happening, Kenyans have decided that they are going to expose the rot within the government. And one of the people that does this is Morara Kibaso. He is not left alone. Social media is doing the Lord's work. That is what Kenyans are now saying. Doing the Lord's work, exposing the rot so that people don't forget. And if you want us to see the state of our roads, the state of our stadium, I want us to watch this video just to give you a picture of what is happening within the country and how our hard-earned cash is being wasted. Then we go to one of the comedians. He's called Crazy Kennar, has released a comedy just to enlighten Kenyans on how taxpayers' money is being siphoned when it is released to the contractor. Before it even reaches the contractor, a road or a stadium or any project is launched, and how many people come to take this money. And it is you will see this and even weep. You will weep for our beloved country, Kenya, that is being destroyed by corruption and diabolic leaders who do not care about the poverty-stricken people who are working hard to maintain their offices. This is how things look like in within the projects that have been launched.
Inamaanisha iko watu wamekuwa wakikula pesa, wanaficha wa Kenya vile mali ya umma inaibiwa. If this was in the Auditor General's report, tungekuwa tumeipata. Nimeng'ang'ana, nimeipata kwa Controller of Budget Implementation Report, Annual Implementation Report. Hapo ndio nimepata kwamba financial year 2018-2019 waliweka kwa hii mradi 130 million Kenya shillings. Alafu 2019-2020 wakaweka another I think 80 something million, wakalipa contractor 61 million. But I'm convinced, very much convinced, that that is not the only money. From many records, that is not the only money that was allocated or that has been spent or that has been paid to this contractor. Therefore, EACC na DCI, they should investigate what happened to this project and what happened to taxpayers' money. There should be value for taxpayers' money. Hii miaka yote unaona stadium ni mawe. Can you see? This is a quarry. Nasikia iko watu wanakujanga kuchimba. I want my cameraman to keep coming so that I show you most of the stadium. Unaona iko watu wa construction wanakujanga kuchimba mawe hapa in this stadium. You can see it's a shell. Hapa Isiolo people wangekuwa wamejenga talents. The youth wangekuwa nafurahia hii stadium. It would be available for national events. Angalia. Ng'ombe na mbuzi wanakula nyasi kwa stadium. Yeah? So there is so many conflicting reports. Some people say the money that was allocated was 384 million. Others say 600 million. Others say 900 million. The only source of truth should be the Auditor General's report. And it is missing. Kwa hivyo wewe Auditor General Nancy Gathungu, tafuta ukweli ya hii kitu and make sure that the officers that are working in this region are called to Nairobi and questioned about how this stadium missed the Auditor General's report. Ona, hizi ni mbuzi. Hizi ni mbuzi zinakula kwa stadium. Na stadium yenyewe hata nyasi hai.
Now, that is just but one example of how things look like. If you look around, you'll realize that most of the projects that were launched are not up to date. They are not to the standard because the money has been, has gotten into people's pockets. Now, when all this is happening, Kenyans have realized that they are going to take matters in their own hands to expose the rot in the government, and they don't want to sit pretty. And one of the ways in which they are doing this is through through comedians. Now, Crazy Kennar released this video that has some comic in it. It's a funny video, but it reveals the height of impunity in terms of corruption as our money goes into people's pockets. Kindly take a look at this.
I am proud to announce to you the first artificial intelligence road that will be completed in less than 1 year. The government is setting aside 10 billion for the completion of this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Kenyans have decided to do this because the people who are elected to check both the county government and the national government have become part of the problem. They're being bribed, and their work is to rubber stamp what the executive wants. If the governor wants something, the MCAs will simply ratify what he wants. At the national government, the members of parliament, members of the National Assembly will simply ratify what the government wants. A good example is recently when the government, the national government and the executive introduced the Finance Bill 2024. Against the chagrin of Kenyans who had said no, they passed it, they cajoled it on our throats until Gen Zs went to the streets. That is when the Finance Bill collapsed. It happened in 2023, where the Finance Bill 2023 was also forced down on us through court cases, but finally, the other very court, Supreme Court, decided that it was a good thing for us. So it tells you people are very tired, and they've decided, since our members of parliament, the members of the county assembly are not doing the Lord's work, they are going to do it themselves. It also means that Kenyans are very tired. They are tired of this regime. That's why people will always produce some contents and they're very educative contents. You've seen people like Morara Kibasu. When you see people, Morara Kibasu requested Kenyans to buy for him a vehicle and a PA system, and it was costing some good money. And people are responding. Why? Because they have decided we will do what we can, whatever little that you can do to expose this government, even if it's educating our members of the public. If you've seen people like Marco Ure, they are now undertaking sensitization, and they want people to understand why they went to the streets, why they are doing this. And when they're doing this, they're putting their life at risk for you and I. The very little that you do, what is it that you're doing at your comfort zone? Just telling your neighbor what is happening, just ensuring that if it is corruption, you talk against it. And this is how we are going to change this country. And ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the opposition has gotten to bed with the government, and Kenyans are realizing that if they don't do this on their own, it is over for them. What does it portend to William Ruto in 2027? It can only mean one thing. If people get angrier by the day, by the scenes and sights that are very pathetic to behold of corrupt cases, wastage in the government, when we see all departments going on strike before their issues are resolved, then people get even angrier. The cost of education, as you can see, the rot and mess in the education sector, the new funding model at the university level, people get angry. And in 2027, they might decide to revenge. And how do they do that? They can just decide that we are going to conduct an election that has never been seen in this country, an election with anger, to ensure that we have our voters card, we wake up very early in the morning in our numbers, and we send a message. We send all this political class home, and we vote in new leaders. I don't know what to think about the comedy. It's not only Crazy Kennar, but people have come out and they're saying that we will use every means to enlighten Kenyans, to expose this government, even if it means risking our lives. And I think they're doing a good job. I don't know what to think, but from where I sit, even if it means comedy, whatever it means, let us use it to check this government, because we must decide very intentionally to demand our rights and accountability, because it is our money. In chapter 1 of our constitution, power belongs to the people.